Okay, welcome to Team Call. Monday, what are we even on? September 16th. Cannot believe that it's already halfway through September. It's insane to me. I swear the months are going by faster and faster and faster and faster and faster every single damn month. So if you are not at your goal or you are not where you want to be, then get your body moving, get your butt grooving, because it's gonna fly by. And the worst feeling in the entire world is getting to the very end of the month and you are struggling to hit your goal. So make sure that you're getting yourself into the groove of doing it now. But cheers to us. We are gonna have, hi Christina, we are gonna have a crushing final end to the year. I'm excited for it. This is always, if you've been around for a while, you know this is my favorite time in the business is at the end of the year, because every single year without fail, I build momentum in the end of the year. So I will say it again. I will drill it into your brains. This is the time. If you are new to the business, all of my newbies, if you are somebody who's been in as a coach, but you haven't really leveraged everything, now is the time. If you are a coach who has been in it, but you want to kind of like pick things up and you're pushing for a new goal, or you want to rank advance, or you want to go premier, elite, whatever in the month or in the year of 2020, now is when you do it. It's not in 2020. It's not in January. If you don't start in January, you don't start in February, you don't do it in 2020, you do it now. And I know that I say it all the time. It's so hard to wrap our heads around that, because it's like, how is it possible that what you do now is really going to give you the results in the new year? But that's the reality. So the coaches that you recruit right now at the end of the year, this is the team that is going to be your team in the first half of 2020. So we're going to kickstart off with, how do you recruit coaches? How do you actually get people to join your team? And we're just going to keep talking about this, we're going to talk about belief. We're going to talk about the business. We're going to talk about compensation. We're going to talk all things recruiting and building a team, how you do that, how you do it confidently, how do you train people, how do you mentor people, how do you do this while not knowing the things yourself, like all of those things that are probably running through your head. We're going to talk about it. And that's really what's going to be at the topic of the rest of the year. Because at the end of the day, if you are here, especially if you're listening to this call, then you want to ultimately make an income from Beachbody. You want to make an income from coaching. And whether that is an extra couple $100s a month, or that's a full-time income, or anywhere in between, it doesn't really matter, because ultimately you still have to do work. You still got to do work in order to make $100, and you do the same work, you just do a little bit more of it or a lot more of it to make more than that. So the work you have to do is the same. And in order to make an income, you have to show up. But to show up, you got to believe in what you're doing, what you're offering, the capability that you have. And that's what we're going to hone in on for the rest of the year. So believe me when I say your 2020 team is being recruited right now. If you want success in the year of 2020, you have to do the work right now. Grind it out, you guys. We have 3.5 months left of the year. Grind it out. Put your head down. Get out of the fears. Get out of the doubts. Get out of the distractions. Put your head down and get to work. Because what you do now, you will see the benefits of in the first half of the year. And I promise you, you don't believe me until it actually happens. You're like, oh my God, yes, it's so true. But I promise you, at the beginning of the year, in the first quarter of the year, you're going to be like, thank the Lords that I did the hustle and the grind and the hard work in the very end of 2019, because now I'm seeing the results. That's when your coaches are going to start to grab momentum. That's when these coaches are going to start to really understand Beachbody. That's when they're going to have results. That's when you're going to have results. So it's so critical. Okay, enough about that. We're going to dive in. Let me share my screen because I've got some very boring, not cute slides to share just so that I stay on topic. Oh, you know what? Hang on one sec. Okay. Share. Okay, can somebody give me a thumbs up? Can you see that? It says cheap. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. Let me put you guys. I'm gonna put you over here. Okay, so let's talk like the nitty-gritty of how do you actually recruit coaches, okay? At the end, I want you guys to come up with at least one clarifying question in order to really get an understanding. So maybe you develop a question throughout this, maybe you have just a clarifying question that you want to confirm on, but I really want you to think of a question so that you can basically apply the knowledge that you're about to get and make sure you understand it. So I'm going to challenge you. Everybody at the end has to come up with a question. So number one, to recruit coaches onto your team, you have to know and gather the thoughts about what to share. So there's two main things that you will obviously do in order to recruit coaches. Number one, you're going to post about it. Number two, you're going to personally message or invite people. Now, when I say you invite people, you absolutely do invite people through posting. But when I'm referring to inviting people, I'm talking about a DM. I'm talking about that personal message to somebody, okay? So the first thing you need to do is you have to gather your thoughts about what to talk about. What do you post about? What do you share about? What do you talk about? What kind of content are you creating? So the question of how do I even share coaching? And it doesn't matter whether you are a day one or a day 1000. It does not matter how long you've been a coach for. Start recruiting coaches, because that is where the residual income comes in. Okay, that's where the residual income is built. That income that you're going to be making for the long run, in the long term, that's just going to keep on coming because of the work that you do now. You'll keep getting paid in the long term, and it'll just keep on growing. That income comes from coaches. Not only is it the income, but it's the community, you guys. It's starting your own team, and it doesn't need to be this massive team to feel like you love having a team. You don't need to be the most perfect coach. You don't need to be the most perfect leader. I'm definitely not the most perfect leader. Every single day I do personal development, or I do trainings, or I'm learning how to be a leader. I didn't have to become a leader in order to start coaching or in order to start recruiting coaches. I am becoming a leader within the process of recruiting, okay? So to start, you have to gather your thoughts, take a screenshot, write these down, whatever you need to do, but get the answers so that you have this plethora, this bucket of topics to talk about and share about, so that when you get on your Instagram stories or you're making a post, you know what the heck to post about. So the first thing is obviously get a clear idea of how you describe coaching. How you describe coaching is very important, because this is going to reflect who you take on as coaches, who comes to you, who's attracted to you. Your vibe attracts your tribe, meaning what you are interested in, what you put out, is who you're going to attract. For me personally, most of the coaches that I bring onto the team start out from day one joining Beachbody, never joined Beachbody, or they've never really done a boot camp before, and they're getting right into it with coaching. Why? Because that's how I started. And ultimately, I believe that coaching is really where the transformation happens. Believe me, I believe in the products. I believe in boot camps. I absolutely do. But there is no other transformation that is comparable to the transformation that will happen when you become a coach. So that's what I talk about. I talk about the transformation. I talk about how I started. I talk about how coaching is literally paying me to become a better version of myself. But maybe for you, coaching is a little bit different. Maybe for you, you started as a client, you got incredible results, because I know that there are many of you like that. You got incredible results, and you're the opposite of me. You're like, I became a coach because of the boot camps, because I love them, because I love the programs, because I love the products, because they changed my life. That's why you became a coach, to pay that forward. That's what you're going to talk about. So when you are talking about what coaching is, maybe you use terms like, this is the way I get to pay it forward. This is the way that we get to pay it forward. I get to be an everyday person, a non-fitness and health expert who still gets paid to share these incredible life-changing programs. That's what coaching is. So figure out and get a clear idea about what coaching is. That's the most important. Other questions you want to know is, why did you join? Write it down. Like, I really want you to write these down. Number 2 is, why did you say yes to this team? Whoever you joined, why them? What was it about them that made you want to say yes? For me, when I enrolled, and I talk about it when I tell my story, the reason I joined my upline coach is because I saw myself in her story. I saw myself, she had a before and after picture, and I saw myself where I was on January 2nd of 2016. It was her before picture. That's who I was. And where she was 2 years later is exactly where I wanted to be. It's where I visualized myself being. That's why I joined, is because I saw her progress, her success is exactly what I wanted. And that's why I joined. So exactly why did you join that particular team, that person, that upline, that team, that vibe, that everything that they have to offer, right? And if you don't know, be honest about it. If you're like, honestly, I just joined, I didn't really know who this person was, but I joined because there was a reason that you said yes, right? Obviously, you got to know your vision. What's your vision with coaching? What do you want to do with it? Truly, if I could wave a magic wand, what would be the most ideal vision and success that could happen if you did the things? If it could come true, what do you want coaching to do for you? Talk about that. Know what that is, so that when you go to share a post about coaching or an invite to coaching, you can come from this place of, this is what I want, right? What fears did you have before signing up, and how did you overcome them? So one of my biggest fears that I always talk about was, I had zero money, like negative amounts of money to put towards my enrollment package. How did I do it? I knew that because I had no money, I needed to sign up to be able to make money, right? It was something that was on the side. I was working 50 plus hours a week. I didn't have a schedule that allowed me to get a second job. If I wanted to change where I was financially, I needed to do something about it. And if that required me to make that investment, I did, right? I needed to do it. So for you, what were the fears that you had? And if you had a long list of fears, pick one every day for a week and talk about these fears, talk about these hesitations that you had, and tell the story or tell the the reality about how you overcame them. And then the last one is gather your thoughts on, do you believe in the possibility? Do you believe that it's possible? That vision that I asked you to get clear on, do you actually believe that it is possible? If the answer is no, here's a slap, a nice friendly little wake up. It's possible. If everybody else can do it, why can't you? You're not special in a way that everybody else is capable of success except you. And get down and dirty to why you don't believe that it is possible. Because if you don't believe that it's possible from something of your own, of an insecurity of your own, of this belief that you're not going to be able to do the work, that you won't do the work, that you'll fail. Why? Why will you fail? Does it have something to do with the company? Does it have something to do with the opportunity? Or is it on you? And wherever that is, whatever that is, that misbelief, that lack of belief in why this is possible for you, that's where you need to do personal development, right there. And that exact thing, if you work on that, is the reason coaching will change your entire life. That right there, okay? So you need to know wholeheartedly that this is going to change your life, or that this is going to bring you the vision that you actually have. Moving on. How do you share coaching? Share coaching fit. Oh my God, I don't have words. Share how coaching is fitting into your day right now. So no matter where you are, no matter how long you've been coaching, what your coaching day looks like, talk about how it looks and how you're doing it, how it fits into your life. Screenshot this page or write these down, but talk about how it's the thing keeping you consistent and accountable to your workouts and your nutrition, if that's the case. Talk about how it's teaching you something. What is it teaching you? Talk about how it's required as a coach and in this business to get uncomfortable, and that's how you're growing. That's how you're transforming. That's how your life is changing. Talk about how, are you making new friends? What's that like to make new friends? It's freaking hard to make friends as adults. It's so hard. It's so weird to make friends as adults. Is this an opportunity that is allowing you to meet new people, to get out there, to talk to people, to make friends, to build these incredible relationships? I have made I have made the best friends since coaching, since being a part of coaching. I don't have this massive, gigantic business. I don't have this $1 million, 15-star, top of the ranks kind of business, but I don't need that in order to have made friendships that will probably last a lifetime, right? You don't need to have this massive, gigantic, successful, high top ranked business in order to talk about the new friends that you're making. Okay, talk about that. People, especially people like in their 20s, 30s, even 40s, it's hard to make friends, right? Talk about how important that is. Where are you working right now, and where are you working in your day, and how are you fitting your activities into the day? So maybe you're in the car in between jobs and you're sending out 5 messages. That's when you're doing your inviting. Talk about that. Jump on a story or make a post about how this is what your life looks like. Or talk about this, how you are fitting in a team training. Once a week, you get on this team call and you're so excited. And this is a way for you to build your business. And this is how you're fitting it in. I'm doing this while doing my laundry or doing my workout, or I'm listening to the recording while I'm taking my shower or getting ready in the morning. Talk about that, right? You might not get a paycheck to listen to this team call, but I assure you your paycheck is going to come because you listen to these team calls, right? Are you making money? If you're making anything, $1, $5, can't even make that little, but if you're making $100, $50, $40, $5,000, talk about it and talk about what you're using it for. Make sure you use the income disclaimer. You can find it on the FAQ section of the website. Anytime that you talk about income and you're basically implying that coaching contributes to that income, you just have to use the income disclaimer. It's not sexy, but it is important. You can get your posts taken down. But in that, talk about how the income is helping you. Talk about how $50 this week on Thursday is going to impact your life. If you didn't have that $50, what would you not have? What are you using that $50, $100, $300 this week? What are you using it on? When talk about and connect that to your vision. It's $300 now. You can't wait until it's $3,000 and then $30,000. How incredible would that be? And it's possible because literally the sky's the limit. There is no cap within our financial earnings. It's everything is possible. So talk about both of them. Remember, just use the income disclaimer. And then obviously, what time of day do you get your business done? And why does this work for you? Why is this great for you? Maybe it's not great as in you enjoy it, right? Nobody actually likes working at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. On a side hustle. Nobody likes waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning to get their hustle done. But why is it good for you, right? Why is that possible for you? Hello, one of the things is that you would not be able to go and get a part-time job and work those hours the same way that you can do it with your business. You can do this while doing something else, or while being at home with your family, while doing it before you go to work, or so on and so forth. This is an opportunity for you to make extra dollars on your own time, right? Okay. So get real and creative with how you share your coaching opportunity, how you're sharing, the things about coaching, how you're sharing about you and your coaching, what you're doing, and all of that. So share videos on IG stories. Hang on, I need a drink. Okay. Share videos on your IG stories. I love this way because I can't tell you, every single time that I make stories where I'm talking, it's a video explaining coaching or talking about coaching, especially when I tell my story, which I am committing to telling my story on video with you every single week now. I forget to do it every single week. I do it in pictures, but I need to get better at doing it in video because people will listen. And the people who are listening and then commenting, even if it's one person, those people are the people who are interested in coaching. They're listening to you for a reason, right? And so get on video, talk about it, practice it. Be like, this is what I'm doing right now. And then the next day you say, this is what I'm doing and why. And then the next day you say, this is what I'm doing, this is my vision, and I am overcoming this. So on and so forth. You have to build that confidence on video. Eventually, you're going to be able to talk on video, no freaking problem, okay? It might not be something that you love to do. Like you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to take a picture. Oh my God, I can't wait to take a video. I am not like that at all. But I force myself to get on my videos. And once you're on there, you just really don't give a shit, okay? Make an IGTV or an IG live video. Go on and talk about your vision. Talk about why you started coaching. Talk about what you love about coaching. Get on and just be real. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you want to do it in your own way, but in multiple variations so that people can get to know you, get to know your story, build a relationship with you. And that's why they're going to join you. That's why they're going to connect with you. Use IG tools to make call to actions for people to join you. You can do that in both your IG stories, using all of those tools like a poll or a question thing, or like the slider. Use things, or the swipe up and DM me info. All of those things are call to actions. Make sure that you're putting those in there. Don't talk about coaching or even a boot camp without having an invite in there. Tell people you can join me. Swipe up comment info, or click the poll. Which one do you want? Or